I just wanted to get on here and say that it is indeed very possible that things could get very scary at the No Kings protests this Saturday, October 18th. And in no way am I telling you not to protest. In fact, I think that protesting peacefully is one of the best ways to get the attention of the government and to let them know that we will not stand for authoritarianism. But I'm realistic as well. And I know that these protests, they're going to be a unique opportunity for Trump that he might not let pass by. And I just got an update on Hawk's podcast. He said that the feds believe that the upcoming No Kings protests are a cover for domestic terrorism. So after finding that out, now you need to take even more precaution because they're taking this farther quicker than I ever really even imagined. And what that means is that there could be events that are spurred on by people who are associated with the right. It could be normal people, or it could even be government officials. Because when you say that protesters are domestic terrorists, which they're doing right now, that is textbook authoritarianism. And it's too bad that here in the U.S. we do a terrible job teaching history, especially about things like this, because anybody with any knowledge of history knows that this is textbook authoritarianism and how they take power. And remember, the Insurrection Act, that's something that's being looked at heavily by Trump, Stephen Miller, by that whole gang. And they are itching for an excuse to deploy the military and to use it against civilians. And this is going to be the perfect time. And, I've heard those people on YouTube that are saying, well, the law prevents the Insurrection Act being used in that way, yada, yada. But here's the thing to remember. Since when does Trump and this regime care anything about the law? Since never. I mean, these people break the law over and over. They break the Constitution over and over, and they're never held accountable for it. And they're going to keep doing it. So that means it is super important to keep the protests nonviolent. That one we already know. Think about the peaceful protests in Alabama during the 1960s. That's what you're going for here. You want it to be clear that you're not domestic terrorists, and that you're only there taking advantage of your right to peacefully protest. Allow the feds, the police to be the aggressors, and let people get that on film. Our modern technology allows us to actually film exactly what's going on at these protests, so make sure to get your cell phones out. Record what's going on. That should be a big point of emphasis on October 18th. And here's something else to consider. Make anti-fascism a focal point, but don't make the imaginary organization of Antifa a focal point, because Trump has already designated Antifa as a domestic terror organization, and there are still all kinds of people who have no idea what Antifa stands for. And it stands for anti-fascism, which is exactly what all Americans should be, but again, people don't know what it stands for. And if you have Antifa on your sign, then people who aren't educated, they're going to think you're part of a terrorist organization. So don't put this name on signs because it'll give the right a real boogeyman to go after, which is ridiculous, but it's the way it is. But if you have anti-fascism on a sign, then when someone films aggression towards you, it'll be a lot more obvious that you are in the right. I really hope that people who are peacefully protesting to keep our democracy are not seen as a threat to this country. So anyway, final thoughts, be peaceful and consider putting anti-fascist on your sign rather than that trigger word of Antifa. I truly hope that none of this takes place, but I just wanted to make a quick video with thoughts that kind of came into my mind. It's better to be prepared, because I truly do care about the Americans out there who care about keeping our democracy. And I don't want good people being punished for standing up for what our country fought and died for in World War II, being against authoritarianism, racism, and fascism. But we're going to have to face it. This is a very tough time for our country. But if you enjoyed this video or you got something out of it, consider subscribing, because all these things we're going through, it's going to be better if we stick together. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.